All right, this is a really fun one. We're going to be taking text and filling it with stuff, and we're not going to need simulations to make sure that they don't collide. It's all done in geometry nodes. It's super fun. A lot of you might know last week I uploaded a video all about using text in geometry nodes, and this is kind of a step-by-step tutorial that came from that. But there's also 6 more projects on my Patreon if you really want to get a deep dive into this concept and see how far can you take text within geometry nodes. It's like a little over 100 minutes of training for geometry nodes and text and typography and having a lot of fun. If you want to check that out, that is available on my Patreon. But with that being said, let's jump into this. All right, so start off just with an object. I'm going to start with this bolt and just literally pick whatever you want: an apple, a bolt, a sphere, a fist. I highly recommend you picking relatively round objects. That is going to help you with the collision thing. If you're using like a shovel or a long cylinder, it's really not going to work out for you. So that is going to be kind of sort of the constraint here in this. So pick a, any object you want that's, relatively round. I used an M&M, which is round to a degree. You're just missing the outer portions, something like that. So we're going to start out with, a plane, and I'm going to call it Geo. And we're going to open up a new window. And this isn't really going to take very long. It's not a very big node tree, but it's just some important stuff. So we're going to click New, and we're going to get the String to Curves node. So we're going to get that String to Curves and type in whatever letter you want. I'm going to go with the letter N because my name is Nathan. I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis by 90 degrees. And then we're going to go ahead and center everything out here, and I'm going to size it by 5. Now, this part, go ahead and pick whatever font you want. I highly recommend a black font. Now, if you don't know what a black font is, it is essentially black just means the boldest it can get. It's bolder than bold. If you have a font family, black is the boldest option. I'm going to go ahead and pick, you can use Helvetica New Black, anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and pick my brand font, Silka. But again, it doesn't matter what font you use, but the more space you have, the better this is going to look. Now what we're going to do is hit Shift A, and we're going to get in a fill curve node. And I'm going to click on Ngons. I don't even know if that's important, but if you click on Ngons, it clears it out. Don't know if that's necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then we're going to do a extrude mesh node, and you can pick your extrusion. I'm going to leave it where it is at a value of 1. If you look at the back though, it's hollow, and that is a big gripe with the extrude node. It works differently than the solidify modifier. If you want to technically solidify it, we're going to get a join geometry and plug the fill curve into that. It's going to put the back. It won't connect it though. So if you were to throw a bevel modifier right on this right now, which would be really sweet, you can't. It's only going to bevel these parts, but this is unconnected, and it takes some trickery to connect it, and I haven't figured it out yet. But that is important just for the volume. Now to get the volume to mesh to work, well, let's just show you the problem. So if we do a mesh to volume, you'll notice it looks terrible until we get a realize instances node and put it here. My hunch is it is because of that problem in the back not being connected. That's my best guess. It could be anything, but it only started working after I realized it. But that's okay. We're not losing anything by doing that. And then now we can go ahead and we're going to go and distribute points in the volume, which is one of my favorite things to do. And now if you bring up the density, you have all these instances within the volume of your object. And if you want to have fun, you can go from random to grid, and then you can play with the grid and have like a really cool grid thing. I am going to do random because it looks better, but you'll notice they're all colliding, and this is why we picked round objects, because of the way the instances are. But we need to fix this, and that's going to be with a merge by distance node. Merge by distance. And then if you start playing with that distance factor, it'll say how far apart each instance can be from each other, and that is going to prevent our collisions by, if you do it right, about 95% of the time, maybe 90%. It isn't going to fully prevent collisions, but it's certainly way easier than doing a physics simulation. And so from my research, I saw people stacking these to get what they called a better algorithm. So what you can do is take a merge by distance node and get like 4 of them and just start plugging them together. Just like this. And then I'm going to minimize them all just to conserve space. And then you can get a value node to control all their value at the same time. I'm going to hit G to move these down. And we're going to get a value node. And we're just going to plug this right into the gray. Just like this. And that is going to now help you control all these merge by distance nodes at the same time. Of course, we now need to plug this last one into the geometry so we're actually using them all like this. So now we can go ahead and instance on points. So we can get a instance on points node, plug that there, and I'm going to drag in my object from the outliner, or you can just get a cube or an icosphere if you don't want to import your own object and you just want to learn this concept. You can also use a collection, but that's a little bit more complicated. And you can plug geometry right into instance, and we now have, we play with our scale, we now have this nice thing with all of our randomly placed objects, and none of them are colliding, and it's super cool, but they're all pointing the same direction. Let's go ahead and randomize that with a random value node, and I'm going to set this guy to vector. I want to have a bunch of options and plug that right into rotation, and then just bring that up, and you now have fully randomized objects within this. And then you can go ahead and play with your options here. You can play with your density to get more density. Of course, playing with this value. So if I bring my value to like 0.03, you can see a lot of collision. See that? And that's because they're just too close together. So I'm going to bring this back over because it's also lagging the hell out of my computer. So let's bring this back a little bit. So you can start to play with how close can you get? Like that's pretty good right there. There are going to be collisions, intersections, but the more you play with this value, the better or worse it's going to get. And you can play with your density, and sometimes if one's colliding in a random spot, you can play with the seed to get that. And then if you want to animate these guys, you can do something like this. Let's see, hold on, I need to hold down Shift. So you can just get like a really slow animation. If you want to animate the rotation in a loop, you can get a rotate instances node after this random value, and then just do that. So that looks bad because one of these axes are weird. So you can do like this. And now they're all going to rotate 360 based on where they started at their random value. And it's going to look really, really cool. So we now have our word, we now have our letter, and you can just make it say anything you want. Hi. Or, oh, that's cool. It's like a ball of bolts. That's not a word. I misspelled it, but I was trying to spell maybe. That's pretty bad. Some things can merge together, and that's where you would play with your character spacing. So I can't think of a word. Let's see. Watch. That's cool. And so see how they're like merging together because of the volume? You can play with either your character spacing like that, or play with your actual volume settings to get a sharper looking volume, maybe not so quite bold of a font. So maybe you can do numbers, 55. So that's going to look pretty cool. Shorter numbers, shorter words look better just for design, really. They'll just design out better. And then you can play with your your voxel amount to get a sharper look. So play with all of these to see how your settings look, playing around with them. Let's go ahead and finish this out. We've hit the 10-minute mark. Let's give it a background, let's give it some light, and we can call it a day. So on the cap nut thing, on the let's just give it a metallic material here, and you can add whatever material you want for your object. I'm gonna hit the tilde key to go to the front, and we're going to go get a plane. I'm gonna hit RX90 just to rotate it, bring it back to something like this, and then fill this out. We can go ahead and get a camera, Control-Alt-0, snap that to view, and here, I'm gonna give myself 2000 on the resolution. I'm gonna hit G and middle click. What's my camera at? So we'll do, say, an 85 millimeter lens on my camera, like this. And I'm gonna go to cycles for my lighting. So we have this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this background material just an emission. So just make that a white emission, maybe even a slight blue. It's kind of a classic look I've done a billion times here. Let's get our light, get an area light and bring it up here to the top by hitting G. Something like this. We can scale it up and then bring that brightness up. And then we can go ahead, I'm gonna copy the color from that and paste it in there. And so now we have that, and you can make your spread smaller if you want to get more of a specific accuracy on your object. So now we have that, and then I'm going to hit Shift D. And in this case, we're going to take this guy and switch it over to a disk. I'm hitting G, and then I'm going to hit R twice to aim it, just like that. And then like this. Pretty cool. Maybe this top light is a little too bright. Maybe 300. And there we go. We now have our lighting. We have our bolts. Maybe the bolt can be a little bit more glossy. But that's our scene. Let's just go ahead and render it and see how it looks. There we go. So with any object you want to use, you can make this look super cool. You can use oranges, you can use mushrooms, you can use candy. You can use anything you want to get this whole thing to look cool, but this is it. This is the tutorial. I hope you learned some stuff. You can use this in a lot of different ways. It doesn't just have to be text. It can just be regular objects, spheres and hands and anything really. It'd be cool to like take a hand, convert it to a volume, fill the hand with objects. You now have some kind of symbolism there. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like I mentioned on Patreon, there are 6 more tutorials, a little bit over 100 minutes of training with geometry nodes and using typography with geometry nodes. If you want to check that out, that is in the description. Really supports what I'm doing here on YouTube. And thank you guys for watching.